Welcome to the first ever TestPilotRC.com Speed Challenge. This is Tyadronis with TestPilotRC.com, and let's take a moment to go over the rules. Rule number 1. You can use one full battery. You can make as many passes as you want, but once that battery runs out, you're done. Rule number 2, the highest speed recorded is what's entered into the competition, and this includes the highest speed on a single pass. And finally, rule number 3, you must be straight and level during your flight. That means no diving. Alright, our first competitor is the Parkzone Stryker F27Q. It's designed by Kike Samanzini, and it's a pusher prop. It's a great little aerobatic plane. It's running on a 3S battery. And here it comes ripping at 80 miles an hour in slow motion. Let's take another look at that. Alright, 80 miles an hour is the speed. Moving on to our next competitor. It is the Multiplex Dogfighter. It's a great little pole racer, and it's running on a Turnigy aerodrive motor and also a 3S battery. Let's take a look at it. Coming on in. And there it goes, 63 miles an hour. A little disappointing, it's not quite fast enough. And there it is, slow motion, 63 miles per hour. Moving on to our next competitor. And that is the Freewing Stinger 64. It's a $99 ARF kit, also running on a 3S battery, and probably dollar for dollar per mile per hour. That's probably one of our better buys. And it cruises by at 68 miles an hour. So it's down there with the Dogfighter, but it is still really fast for a $100 airplane. Alright, our next competitor is the E-flite Carbon Z Scimitar. This thing is a monster in the air, and it has vectored thrust. It's running on a 4S battery, and it's got the optional retracts. Cruising by, is that 92 or 88? Let's take a look in slow motion. That's 92 and then 88. And we're going to take the highest speed, which is 92, but why did it slow down? Let's take a look real quick. And this is how radar guns work. Alright, let's bring up a radar gun, and it's sending out a signal. Bing! Yeah, there it goes, bouncing back 2 times, and then it measures the distance twice, and then it can gauge the speed. Alright, so as the plane flies by, let's pretend each one of those lines is a pulse, so we're getting a nice even speed. Except that's not how the grid would really be laid out. Let's back it up and take a look. This is how the grid for a radar gun really looks. It's radial. So as the plane passes by, there's one blip, and then closer there's another blip, and we'll compare them, and you can see the closer blip is longer. So it has to travel a farther distance to register the same speed. So that's why we take the higher speed, because although it's moving a higher speed, the radar gun registers it as slower. Here we can see it 92, then slows down to 88 as the plane gets closer because it's not going straight at the radar gun. Alright, our next competitor is the Parkzone Habu 2. It's quite a fast little EDF jet. It's also running a 4S battery, and it's got the optional flaps and retracts installed. Obviously the flaps are up, of course. And here it comes, whizzing by. Let's take it in slow motion so we can see it. 76, then slowing down to 75, then down to 63. We're getting that same effect. So the registered speed will be 76. And let's take a look at our results. Up at the top slot, we've got the E-flite Carbon Z Scimitar at 92 miles an hour. Then at second place, we've got the Parkzone Stryker F27Q at 80 miles an hour. Third place, the Parkzone Habu 2 at 76 miles an hour. And then bringing up fourth is the Freewing Stinger 64 at 68, followed by last place with the Multiplex Dogfighter at 63 miles an hour. This is Tyadronis for TestPilotRC.com, and this has been the Speed Challenge.